the cloud. This call is being recorded. Sorry. So what you can see determines what you can be, right?
Right.
What you can see determines what you can be. And then it talks right here. It says people who never see it, they are wanderers. People who see it but never pursue it on their own, they are followers. People who see it and pursue it, they are achievers. Okay? Think Josiah's going to achieve his goals because he's sitting here and has it on his dashboard and sees it every day. I was riding with him one day and said, "Hey, what's this?" And I read it, man. It's detailed. Okay? He learned it. He heard it from Nathan Treborg, right?
Yeah, episode 1.
So episode 1, guys. People who see it, pursue it, and help others see it and pursue it, they are leaders. Guys, by sharing your vision, it's not a bad thing. By sharing your vision with your team, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Share your vision. Let people on your team know who else is a part of it. Let people know why you want to be a part of it. Let people know why you want them to be a part of it. Okay? Any thoughts so far just on number 1? Just so far on what we've said so far.
Hey, Todd, I
Good
come
morning,
from
Trish.
I come from a project management background. And you think about projects, you're trying to get to a goal. Well, if you don't know what goal you're trying to get to, just like taking a trip, if you don't know where you're trying to go before you even start, you're just going to go out and wander around. So
Right.
having that vision is the first thing, and then you can figure out what steps and what you need to put in place. But if you don't know where you're going to go, then that'd be no different than us getting up in the morning and just randomly getting in our car and driving down the road and going, "Oh, let me see what I can find today."
Right.
Right. Versus like putting 10 businesses in our sales rabbit. And yeah, we don't skip over as we drive by, but hey, we have a vision of going to those 10 places.
Right. Good. Thank you, Trish. Guys, I'm reading a book. I just read a book with Rob McLean called The Traveler's Gift. I would encourage you guys to read it. Og Mandino kind of set up, but he talked. One of the people that he visits, famous people in this book, and one of the ones he met was Christopher Columbus. And he went up in the crow's nest with Christopher Columbus, and if you read the book, it'll make sense. But everybody on board of the ship wanted to bail. They wanted to say, "Let's turn around." They didn't have enough rations to even make it back to where they came from. And Christopher Columbus said, I see land, and the guy in the book was like, "I don't see anything." He goes, "I see it." He goes, "When I look straight off the front of this boat, I see land." And we all know how that ended, guys, but he had a vision. He had a vision of seeing the land, and he had to sell everybody on that vision. How about that, man? They didn't know if they were going to die or do whatever. Do you think he was a pretty good visionary? I do. So only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained. A man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep enough into the mine of his soul. Good Lord. I need to dig deeper some days, right? Definitely need to dig deeper, man. Number 2 says, you see only what you were prepared to see. Okay. And then this little quote over here is pretty good. We all live under the same sky, but we don't all have the same horizon. Sometimes I call my friends and say, "Hey, what's the moonlight look like where you live?" Guys, it all looks the same, right? It's just a different view of it, but we all have different paths. So number 3 is what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. It says right here, when Disney World first opened, Mrs. Walt Disney was asked to speak at the grand opening since Walt had died. She was introduced by a man who said, "Mrs. Disney, I just wish Walt could have seen this." She stood up and said, "He did." How about that? Huh? He did. That's pretty, to me, I mean, he had the vision, man, but he already saw it way before everybody else did, right? So good leaders don't allow themselves to be dragged down into the mundane territory. They set their eyes to the horizon and their hearts on the people. They know that a lot depends on their vision. Dude, does that mean you got to see the good people, the good in people? Yes.
Yeah.
Josie, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, kind of going back, it really hit me with the first one of visions are good, but I think the importance and the link that at least myself have been missing is sharing that vision with others, to kind of help keep accountable, and also to allow you to focus on what you are and allow others to help you attain your vision. So that kind of was what stood out with me so far.
Todd, I'm gonna jump in real quick, man. Just one of my favorite lines in this whole thing is this chapter is God's gift to me is my potential. My gift back to God is what I do with that potential. And y'all, if you really just think about that, I mean, we all have so many things that we are just we got to be grateful for them. You know, I mean, all of us have. I mean, we're all on this call for a reason. And it's because, yeah, we all have a gift of this potential to be leaders. And it is our duty to use that gift that God has given us. And whether you believe in God or not, that's all on you. But, you know, for whether you believe in it or not, either way, you have a gift, which is why you're on this call. And if we can give back, whether it's, you know, giving back to God or to your community or to other people's lives or whatever the case is, by just influence them and having a vision and sharing that vision with them and helping them seek their vision. Because y'all, a lot of us, we get lost in this whole, like, what our vision should be. And every single one of our visions is probably going to be a little different. So I just want to encourage each one of you to really just take a few minutes, you know, at some point today and think about what your vision is. What do you want out of this career? Where do you want to be in, you know, a year from now or even a month from now? Break it down. That way that vision can become a reality. You know, I mean, set these realistic goals for yourself. Where do you want to be in a month? Okay. Then where do you want to be next quarter? Then where do you want to be at the end of next year? Y'all, when you make these visions a reality and you actually make them attainable and then you pursue it, they become a reality. So, you know, it's, we all have a gift. Let's give back and use that. Oh, sorry, just a little excerpt for myself.
No, it's good. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Brad. Guys, this one says how to increase your more and before. Some of this stuff kind of, you know, speaks to me and, you know, God put you where you want to be. And again, I'm going to kind of focus on that just for a second, but good leaders see more and before others, and they work to increase that capacity on an ongoing basis. Many people believe that you either have it or you don't. He obviously says he disagrees with that. No, there is more and before out there. Okay. Guys, I'll throw this back to when I worked at the radio station. I hated it. And I will say this to you guys. I do not use the word hate. My mom raised me to say, I strongly dislike. If my kids say I hate something, I say to them, we don't hate. We strongly dislike. I hated that job. It was terrible, you know, and I literally would pray to God, if this is where you want me to be, okay. But just know that I'm not happy, you know, and I had to believe that there was a vision. I had to have a vision to know that there was something more out there for me. Okay. And that's when Van started giving me the full court press. Right. And it turned out to be that this is where I was supposed to be. But at the time where I was going through that stage in my life, that season, as some of us say, that's kind of where I needed to be. And I didn't like it. You know, he goes on to say, today, two qualities help me focus on ways to increase my more and before: creativity and flexibility. Harnessing creativity helps me to believe that there is always an answer. That mindset enables me to see things before others do because I expect to. Flexibility reminds me that there is always more than one answer. That mindset enables me to see more than others see. Okay. And he uses those concepts to see the future. So number one was know there is more and before out there. Two is develop a process for finding more and before. Kenny D.
Yeah.
Thoughts on where we are so far. Thoughts on this number two, develop the process, the test, the fail, the learn, improve, and re-enter.
this is really a part the process we have to just kind of embrace, you know.
Yep.
So like Tess, get out of your comfort zone. You know, a lot of times the biggest challenge for most of us is getting out of our comfort zone and actually, you know, setting out to do stuff that we don't necessarily feel comfortable doing or want to do at the time, and things of that sort. And what happens is when we find ourselves outside of that comfort zone, we see how we do. You know, we break the glass when it comes to our potential. Um, failure allows, you know, you to find out what doesn't work, um, and you learn a lot when it comes to failure. You know, sometimes you'll see what doesn't work. Sometimes you'll see what works um, the most efficient. Sometimes you'll see what works best for you, and instead of, you know, following everyone else. Being teachable, that's huge. You know, and being willing to improve. And just because we're leaders doesn't mean that we can't grow and improve, you know, ourselves, um, and re-enter. It says none of this matters unless you get back into the game. The person who falls and gets right back up may be admired for his tenacity, but that does little good unless he learns, improves, and applies what he learns. So often, you know, we might go through, uh, you know, times in our career or in our lives that, you know, that we stumble and we sometimes people get up and they learn from, you know, what caused them to stumble, and sometimes people get up and they play the blame, you know, game and don't grow from that. So it's important that we embrace the entire grind of whatever we're setting out to do when it comes to being in leadership.
Yep. And
Kenny, I
guys,
love what you said
leadership.
about just the process, man. And yeah, y'all, this career is something that I learned very early on. You do have to respect the process, because yes, it is a process. You know, getting to, you know, field director is a process. Getting to field director level 4 is a process. Getting to a market director, it's a process. You know, it's and Todd and I, yeah, we are market directors, and then of course, I mean, look at Kyle Schneider, who's been in this business for 6 years and became an AO in 6 years. I mean, you think Kyle didn't have a vision when he was going after that? I mean, guys, and it's a process. And those who respect the process, and Kenny D, just like you said, man, you know, when you fall, you got to get back up. That's what leaders are. That's what leaders do. You know, when you fall and you don't get back up, then that's not leading. That's just becoming you're going to end up following somebody else.
Yep.
Instead of having people following you. But yeah, y'all, I mean, this whole career, it is an absolute process, and you do have to respect it. And when you do respect it, and you have these visions, and you set these goals for yourself, and you go after them, and you do it the smart way, that's, like I said, I mean, that's just when this whole thing becomes a reality for you. And the whole reason why we say it is the best opportunity in America. But it is an opportunity. You have to respect the opportunity and respect the process for it to be the best opportunity in America for yourself. But yeah, good words, Kenny D.
Thank you for that, Brad. Yeah, man. And again, you know, just on that, guys, the same thing is when you're trying to get up, man, you may get knocked back down, you may fail. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a failure. It may be, you know what, I hit all the numbers to be market director, and then the second quarter I didn't. So now you're like, I got to climb back up again and do it again. Guys, it's part of it. You don't give up. You don't throw in the towel. You fight for it, and you get back in there and you learn, okay, why did we drop? What did we drop on? What numbers did we drop on? Okay. And you get back in there and you keep fighting. So, guys, I love this one. Spend time with people who inspire you to see more and before. Find somebody that does, man. Find somebody that inspires you to see more. Okay. It's important, man. Somebody that inspires you is not somebody You know, it's somebody that you look up to. It's somebody that guides you. It's somebody that helps you steer the ship, right? And you can bounce ideas off. Well, hopefully we all have that person. If we don't, you know, let's talk, you know, and maybe there's somebody out there, you know, and even if, you know, it's a different organization, it doesn't have to be people in your organization. It doesn't have to be people here. I'm inspired by you guys. I'm inspired by, you know, spending time with Kenny D a couple weeks ago, man, and meeting his aunt. That was inspirational to me. She lives in my turf, you know, man, to me, it's fun riding with Josiah, seeing what he does all day, seeing the fact that he, at, you know, 16 years old, has a vision statement on his dashboard. So, I'm just kidding. Number 4, ask questions that will help you increase your more and before. Guys, I'm going to kind of skip ahead because we are at 8:30 and I do not want to keep us on so long. Number 5, intentionally grow every day to increase your capacity for more and before. Rob McLean has helped me get back into reading, but reading books that I like to read. I don't like to always just read business books, and I fell out of that. You know, when you go, hey, we got to read this book, read this book, read this book, read this book. Guys, find some books that you like to read. He gave me a couple, man, and I'm telling you what, I breezed through one of them, and I'm about 50 pages short of the other one. That's 2 books in a matter of 3 weeks. What? That's not like me. Okay? So grow, learn, open your mind, read books that help you not only emotionally. Yeah, go ahead.
Todd, on number 5, I just wanted to say it before you skipped over it. The Steve Jobs quote right there. If you were working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. I think that's super strong of just really honing in and focusing on, you know, what is it for you personally that excites you, that motivates you, that drives you to do what we do every day. Really kind of just focus in on that, hone it down, put it on paper, and keep it in front of you, because it'll pull you even when you don't want to be pulled.
That is awesome.
Correct.
I love that.
It's inspiration, man. I wanted to be in the mountains for a second week, but if I do that, it's just not going to help us get to what our goal is, 1 million, man. I mean, you know, I've got to help get us to 1 million, and I'm carrying that on my shoulders. So, guys, just when someone else owns your dreams, when you own your dreams, just awesome. You know, it will take you out of your strength zone. It will take you out of your comfort zone. It will be fulfilling to others. It will be fulfilling to you. Guys, I want hitting $1 million to be fulfilling not only to me, but to everyone on Team ILM. I want everybody on Team ILM to be proud of the fact that, man, this little office in Wilmington, North Carolina, we hit $1 million. Okay. That's, to me, it's everybody else that did it and everybody else that was a part of it, guys, and everyone is a part of it. So I appreciate that. So always looking behind you, learning. Guys, if you like we talked about just a couple minutes ago, you've got to look back and say, okay, I learned from this. I learned from that. I'll throw it out there and say I learned from my first marriage. I learned, you know, what I should have done, what not to do. What I can do better. Parenting, for God's sake, who hasn't looked back and tried to go, man, shoot, I should have done a better job at that. Or, you know, I should have been harder on that. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakens. What is it? Is it meant to be? It's up to me, right?
Yeah.
Toy, looking great this morning. As always, he just turned on his camera for the first time today. CJ has just stayed in the same position the whole time he's been on the screen. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it, but just stayed frozen just like that. It looks great. Look around you. What is happening to others? Guys, the cool thing about this job is we can look around us. Hey, man, what's working for you? What's not working for you? What did you do positive this quarter? What did you do positive this year? That's what I love about this job, guys. There's no backstabbing. Everybody works together. Everybody's asking questions, right? When we put those things out last night, people are like messaging me on Facebook, dude, what do you do? You know, what makes this job so fun for you? I can tell you right now, my wife's and Izzy, I don't mean anything to you, buddy, but my wife's a school teacher, man. She's frustrated. She's not happy. This is her 29th year, man. She's ready to bail. It's all I can do to be like, honey, you got one more year. And technically, guys, don't tell her, but I really want her to work like 2 or 3 more. But guys, not everybody gets to steer their ship, right? So let's do what we can do. Look above you. You know, again, I'm not going to preach to you guys because I don't know where everybody is spiritually. I will tell you this: a lot of times when I struggle with different things, I call Kenny D, and I've talked to him about it, and he helps me with my faith. He helps me. He would call me when I was doing my life stuff, and he'd be like, "Todd, where are you?" And I appreciate that more than Ken will ever know. But guys, there is a higher power. Okay. And whether you believe it is or not, or, you know, maybe you don't, I do. God has a path for us, you know, and I pray that I am honoring the path that he is laid out for me. So, look ahead of you. What is the big picture? The big picture for, you know, I mean, I know what my goal is for the future. My goal is, man, I really want to be AO. I really want to steer the ship, and we are on our way, guys. And I'm excited about it. You know, March will be 5 years for me. I will be 100% vested. I'm excited, man. This got a lot to do, you know, and then we can go out there and crush, Kyle and Van. Just kidding. That's my bad.
Hey, Todd, there's another quote in here that I really like on 176.
Enough from the peanut gallery. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
All right, my bad. It's from the the former Notre Dame president, Theodore Hesburgh. He said, "A vision must be articulated clear and forcefully on every occasion. You can't blow an uncertain trumpet." Right. So you have to force that vision into every single moment throughout your day. You know, you got to keep it in front of you. You can't be, you know, you have to be unwavering about it. You know, this is your vision. This is what you're gonna accomplish. And you got to make very specific actions to make that happen.
Very good. Thank you for that. Guys, the last few pages, 180 right here, paint a picture of the vision for them, guys. It says every great vision has certain components, and the best leaders make sure they include these in the picture so people can experience them, dude. The horizon. A leader's vision of the distant horizon allows people to see the heights of their possibilities, guys. This job has endless possibilities. You want to be a regional, a market director? Go be it. You know what you got to do. It's already laid out for us, right? So go do it. Can I help you? Sure. Let me know how we can help to get you there. Okay. The sun, everyone desires warmth and hope. Mountains, everyone's vision has challenges. This job's got challenges. Izzy, man, you okay?
I'm good, buddy.
Birds, watching an eagle rise causes people to feel their own spirit soar. Flowers, achieving a great vision takes time, takes great energy and effort. I love the way he breaks it down. The path, people need direction. They want a path to follow. We have a path. It's called the career track. Yourself, never paint the vision. And guys, this whole book's not about our job, right? Have a vision for your family. Have a vision about your life, your spirituality, your whatever it is, man. Have a vision about it and go for it. Yourself, never paint the vision without placing yourself in the picture. You got to be there. You got to be a part of it. There's CJ. What is up? Laid back. Look like Toy riding around in a big body Benz. You're in a truck or something. I hear you, brother. So, guys, the last page of this, man, identify your vision. Look within you. What do you feel? Look behind you. What have you learned? Look around you. What is happening to others? Look above you. What does God expect of you? And look ahead of you. What is the big picture? Spend time with people who inspire you to dream big. Ask questions to help see you farther and wider, and develop a vision growth plan. That's it for chapter 8. Guys, any thoughts on that in closing before we split? And then Kenny D's got us next week, And then the following week after that, CJ, if you would bless us with your presence, and can you do chapter 10? So Kenny D, chapter 9, CJ, chapter 10, Toy and Izzy, we need to get you on board too. Anybody got any thoughts?
If I could just throw this last thing in here, y'all. I mean, I know this whole chapter was on vision, and some of y'all will, get off this call and just go about your daily lives as per usual. But, you could do that, or you could really let this chapter have an impact on your life by sitting down and writing a vision statement, thinking about where you want to be at the end of next quarter, or hell, even at the end of next month or the month after that. Y'all get your vision crystal clear, put down a plan for it, and communicate with us. And we are happy to discuss with you how you can get to that next step where you want to be. Y'all, there's people who read all this stuff and don't do anything with it. There's also people who actually put these things in action. And those are the people who find themselves, their visions being a reality. So let's make our visions a reality, guys and gals. And the first step to doing that is by writing it down on paper, then having a conversation with one of your leaders, whether that's me, Todd, Kyle, Van, about what we can do to get you there. Because we want to, guys, we can't achieve our dreams without helping you guys achieve yours. That's how this whole thing works.
Proud of you guys. Let's get it done. Don't let this stuff fall on deaf ears like Brad just said. Do something with it, right? Cool.
Take action.
See you next week. Take action today, guys. Same bat channel, same bat time. Love you guys.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Josie.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Of course.
Yep. Y'all be good.